And welcome to Lounge Ronin. All things, everything. And before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe and ring that notification bell. And leave a comment with your thoughts below and some constructive criticism, as that will help the channel and I grow. So make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And on this episode, we're going to discuss man marries his 1998 Chevy Monte Carlo named Chase. Story after my own heart. So, yeah. As you know, it's 2023, and here in the United Marxist States of America, we don't discriminate against any forms of types of relationships, whether it be with car or with dog. This is not the first story or case of humans marrying inanimate objects, animals. I mean, I think there was a mayor down in Mexico who married an alligator. So I don't know what to tell y'all. But I saw this story and I was like, we got to cover this, because with all the nonsense that's going on within the alphabet community, and it's and I have nothing against the alphabet community, but let's be real, it has been infiltrated, corrupted, and poisoned. And stories like this are, back in the day when TLC would do, would cover, a person who married an inanimate object or whatever, we'd all kind of laugh it off and just be like, oh, well, there's always one. Just like there's always that one dude in the goats. So, I remember hearing of these kind of stories and just finding them odd, but other than that, we would just kind of overlook it, not really think too much about it, have a good laugh, and everyone would go on their merry business. But nowadays, these types of stories are becoming more and more apparent and becoming more and more bizarre. And for those of us who are able to somewhat maintain our emotional balance and our and our sanity during these strange times, we see incidents like this and we just can't help but laugh it off. The nonsense, the irrationality of it. These things are happening so frequently and so often now that anytime I hear any of these stories, whether it's, libs of TikTok posting videos or Clown World, I'm just like, yep, add that to the list. Just another nonsensical situation. And it's, and I would be foolish not to also acknowledge how sad and concerning it is seeing the mental health crisis and the mental breakdown of our society. And I was speaking with my cousin about this last week, and I essentially was telling her, like, hey man, the lockdowns, the pandemic, it broke people. Like, it straight up broke people. And people who were already on the edge, or people who were already broken, and this just crumbled them into pieces. And it is sad that these things are happening. You know, the way people are now conducting themselves, the way they're completely disconnecting themselves from their humanity in favor of these imaginary personas and caricatures. And you see it with these cases of people who are marrying and having intercourse with inanimate objects, like this individual was with his Monte Carlo named Chase. And you also have the new trend of people who are pretending to be disabled, or who are actively damaging themselves because they believe and identify that they should be blind or paraplegic. There's literally a woman who has blinded herself because she believes that she identifies with being blind. Try comprehending that. Please, I beg you, try to comprehend the rationality in that, because there is no rationality. It's completely insane. But this is what we're seeing that is propagating throughout the country. People who were already on the edge, or already broken. That final nail in that coffin from the pandemic and the lockdowns and losing your job, or losing your identity, or we were already struggling with trying to find out who you were, and all of this stuff completely just propagandized, manipulated, and tore you to pieces. And that is what you're seeing throughout this entire country. And with stories like with this man who's literally having sex with his car, we're going to see more and more cases, incidents, and stories of people who are actively participating in a very similar lifestyle and behavior. And it's even more concerning when we have organizations and groups and communities out there, and even government funded programs that are trying to normalize and exploit these behaviors and these mental crises for financial gain, political gain, social gain. I mean, it's all right there in front of you. You just have to look at it, and look at it with eyes unclouded by propaganda and hate. And as much as this is I would be lying if I don't find this story pretty hilarious. I do, but at the same time, I'm also going to be self-aware and acknowledge this is a horrible situation for people to feel and behave as, and try to normalize this. It's really unfortunate. It truly is. But without further ado, let's get into this article. Enough of the Ronin rant. Here we go. Arkansas man who was in a sexual relationship with his soulmate, 1998 Chevy Monte Carlo called Chase, is left devastated after his car is written off in a routine checkup. I don't even know what that even means, but okay. This article is brought to us by Daily Mail, written by Will Potter. An Arkansas man who raised eyebrows after revealing his intimate relationship with his car is left devastated after his soulmate was written off. The motorist, who goes by Nathaniel, detailed how his relationship broke down with his beloved 1998 Chevy Monte Carlo named Chase after it was destroyed during a routine checkup 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, that syncs up right with all of the this stuff heating up, this type of behavior and mentality. His unorthodox affair captured headlines over a decade ago after it was featured. What did I say? On an episode of TLC's My Strange Addiction. I literally was thinking My Strange Addiction. That's hilarious. Where he was seen expressing his love for his classic motor by getting intimate with its machinery. I mean, okay. So here's Nathaniel, and he sleeps in a Monte Carlo bed. Okay. But while he admitted he had even had sex with his car, he said in an update shared by TLC's Instagram last month that their love ran out of fuel. Oh my sweet baby Jesus. What? All right, if any of y'all out there who are watching, and while you're watching, I see there's some people in there, please hit that like button. If you've ever seen the show Paradise PD on Netflix, I highly recommend you check that out because they literally have an episode where one of the cops is dating a artificially intelligent police car. And oh my lord, that stuff was so funny. All right. Although he has tried to move on with several new cars, Nathaniel admitted he can't replace Chase and feels his lasting fling is more of a friends with benefits situation. Oh boy. So he has friends with benefits with several new cars. And you can see him here sitting in his bed. His bed is a Monte Carlo. Do you remember those like little car beds back in the 80s and like 90s that kids used to have? I had one myself. He is sleeping in one. He literally has a picture of him in his car Chase on the wall to the left, and his pillow and bed sheets are all pictures of him and Chase. Oh man, this is so like I want to know what kind of cars is he having friends with benefits with? And like how is he having sex with cars? I mean, I once saw a video on Twitter of a dude who literally had his dick in the exhaust pipe of a car. Now, and going to town on that. I'm assuming that I don't know. This is really fascinating. Like how do you have sex with a car? How do you do that? I'm genuinely curious. Man, this is so fascinating. Okay, here is Nathaniel. He's kissing his Monte Carlo. Oh, okay. Oh, good lord. Here's a picture of Nathaniel literally making out with the front bumper of Chase. He's literally under the car making out with the front bumper. Yes, for those of you who are wondering, This is a Caucasian male, a Yamani, and I don't even know. I mean, we can't even front. TLC on My Strange Addictions, they had this black chick on there who loved sniffing babies' diapers. She loved sniffing them and sucking on them. If you do not believe me, look it up right now. Go on to YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. And there was a chick on My Strange Addictions who loved smelling and sucking on babies' diapers. All right. And she was engaged to a man. I don't even know how that worked. I don't know how. I don't even know. I don't even know how that guy, like, how did that date, like, how did. And we're gonna go off a little bit. We're gonna go off on a tangent, a little rant here, but we gotta talk about that one. All right, we gotta talk a little bit about that one, okay? Because she would go around to her friends who had kids and take their diapers. It became such a problem that they had to hide diapers from her, and she would like have little storage places for diapers if she didn't have any. Oh my god, just ugh. I'm sorry, I can't imagine being engaged to a woman who sniffs and sucks on diapers and being willing to kiss and make out with her still. I cannot comprehend that. I don't even, that takes a a very specially deranged kind of man to put up with that. He like, I don't even know what to say about that. It's just like, and this is what I'm talking about. And here's the thing, right? You know, My Strange Addiction is I'll be honest, it's a fabulous show. It's very entertaining. You can't not lie, not say that show is not a very entertaining show. But what's funny about it, right, is when that show was popular back in the day, these were just isolated incidents. Now, you have people walking around dressed in gecko outfits and horses, and they're making out in public as if they're a gecko and a horse. I don't. This is like two insurance mascots that found love. It's crazy. But like I said, here he is. Like I said, he's tongue in the hood of the front bumper of Chase. Um, Here, look, we might have a clip here of Chase. I apologize, you might not be able to hear the audio at the moment. Oh, can you go captions on? Oh, here we go. Got the captions on. Let's start this over. My name is Desania. I live in a small rural town in Texas. In the last decade, I was in an intimate relationship with my car, Chase. He's 39 now. This was him 10 years ago. He's literally making out with the front bumper, the steering wheel. Nathaniel's in a committed relationship with his car, Chase. He met Chase in a resale lot about 5 years ago. So this is a clip from the show. I love you, baby. He's literally kissing. It was love at first sight. His body and this interior just together seemed to fit and just felt like instant connection. I just absolutely love Chase. If something were to happen to Chase, my heart would just stop. I just have to gather myself here. He's getting teary-eyed. He's crying. And unfortunately, Chase is no longer a part of my life. This 10 years later, 4 years ago, Chase was involved in a serious accident during a routine checkup. I still think about it a lot. Breaks my heart he's not here. I just felt like he deserved better. So this is where I kept a lot of Chase's mementos. This is Chase's bedroom, I guess. And I felt like that was a perfect place for him. That's the actual hood of Chase. The blankets, yeah, look just like Chase with pictures. Oh my gosh. Didn't realize the things that you take for granted until it's too late. And so I just changed, I guess. The way things happened or tried to do something different, I guess, to keep him here in my life. Here's Chase. He's looking at photos, crying. Okay, who took the photos of him making out with his car? Who took those photos? That's what needs to be invested. A birthday cake for Chase. An actual birthday cake, okay. I still think about Chase every day, but I moved on. I was looking for new vehicles and found my baby girl online. Pretty girl. I love Lex with all my heart. Thank you for all you do for me. Okay, so he moved on. He found a new car called Lex. It's a girl now. Oh boy. I guess that saying "there is someone for everybody" just might be true. So yeah, he's moved on. He's found a new love. Man, this is wild. Nathaniel broke down in tears as he gave an update on his life, saying, "I think people will be surprised to hear that Chase isn't part of my life anymore." Yeah. "When you last saw me a decade ago, I was in an intimate relationship with my car, Chase," he said. In the archival footage from the original show, Nathaniel proudly smooched the 1998 Chevy on the bumper and steering wheel while telling the car how much he loved him. He said after meeting Chase at a resale lot, it was love at first sight, as he was drawn to the car because its parts just seemed to fit and felt a connection. They seemed to fit. Okay. All right. I hear you, Nathan. I hear you there, bro. Okay. However, Nathaniel ominously cried as he thought about what he would do if he ever lost his lover, saying his heart would just stop. The beloved motor was involved in a serious accident 4 years ago after it went in for maintenance, with an image from the tragedy showing a metal structure collapsed on the door. "I still think about it a lot, and it breaks my heart that he's not here," he said in his update. "I feel like he deserved better." Nathaniel is one of the rare people who experience, objectophilia, or objectum sexuality, a condition that sees people attracted to physical objects over people. Among the items people have fallen over the years includes a Boeing 737 plane and a bundle of balloons. A bundle of balloons. Objectophilia. How long has this been a thing? Because I really feel like some of these things are like new things. Like, they weren't really a thing until, like, I don't even know when. I don't know. Objectophilia. The fact that that's an actual thing and not something that you find in, like, in a South Park episode, it's so bizarre. Man. Balloons. A Boeing 37 plane. And what was interesting when we watched the video about Nathaniel, it's clear that this guy has money. because when you see the background of his place, he seems to have a pretty decent looking place. He clearly has the money to do this. That's what's really fascinating. I remember watching one about a woman who was in love with a Ferris wheel, an abandoned Ferris wheel. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here we got Nathaniel kissing his car. Another photo of Nathaniel caressing Chase. Here we have a photo of Chase in the accident where looks like the mechanic shop place kind of collapsed on his car. Here we got a photo of Chase and Nathan in Chase's bedroom with the hood of Chase's hood of Chase. The hood of Chase. Good Lord. I'm trying to say that 3 times fast. As a way of coping with the gut-wrenching loss, Nathaniel seems to have turned his room into a shrine for his former partner. Okay, so that is his room. He sleeps in there. Okay. Chase's bumper has become his bed's headboard, and nostalgic pictures of 2 of them are found throughout the room. And he literally has a blank. He even has a little car. A little model car on the bed as well. Oh my Lord. The bedroom is just a special place, and I felt like that was a perfect place for him, and to have him close to me, he added. I wonder how Lex is feeling about all of this extra attention that Chase is given. Among the cute pictures, I love how they put cute in quotations. All right, come on, Will. Don't do Nathaniel that dirty, okay? Pictures he chose for his walls and bedding included the couple embracing in a field and the car getting a bath. He puts it in quotations. I know what you're doing there, man. Come on. You look back and you realize the things you take for granted until it's too late, Nathaniel tearfully said. Although he said he still thinks about Chase, he said he's moved on with several other cars. He said he went out looking for new lovers when he came across his baby girl Lex, a Lexus an ES 330. I don't know car talk. Oh my gosh. He ran through a fleet of cars in this collection. Well, I hope he wore protection. As he admitted that Lex is not the only love in my life. I have expanded the family. Some grammatical errors here. So it sounds like Nathaniel is now building a harem of cars that he has sex with. All right. Here's a photo of Nathaniel with Chase, and now here are photos of Chase's 2 new his 2 new lovers, an SUV named Jet and a black sedan named Jason, which he described as very gentlemanly. All right. His jet ski, Adam, was also revealed in the update, which he said he especially enjoys as he gets to wrap his legs around him and feels like he's hugging him. And here we have a picture with Nathaniel next to Chase, the jet ski. Okay. Wow. Also among his family is a new luxurious sedan named Jordan. He's very luxurious, very gentlemanly. I have affection for Jordan all the time. I love on him all the time. I give him kisses, he says. I show affection for Jordan in a lot of ways. We've been intimate, he added. He moved on to his more manly partner, Jet, the jet ski. A large black SUV that he said has. Wait, hold on. Wait. Jet, a large black SUV that he says has a cute butt because he likes its back tail lights. Okay. The Arkansas man said the SUV partners up with his jet ski Adam. Oh God. Which he gets to wrap my legs around him and feels like I'm hugging him. I used to spend more time on the lake with him, but it's been a while. Despite his ever expanding harem, I'm not calling it family. Nathaniel said he has plenty of love to go around, and none of his cars ever feel jealous of each other. Well, true love and happiness. That's all we want for everybody, right? Okay. So yeah, that is the saga of Nathaniel, and his harem. And like I said, this guy clearly has money to be able to afford that many luxury cars. Um, to live this lifestyle. This is what's really interesting, it's really interesting when we find out about, you know, people who are moderately wealthy or very wealthy, and some of their, private extracurricular activities become exposed, and everyone's like, oh well, I mean, no wonder he makes that much money. He needs to make that kind of money to afford that kind of freaky behavior. So I'm not, when you see things like this, it's like, oh, okay, well, here's this man. He clearly has the money to um, live a lifestyle where he's, going to town on vehicles. And this is a world that we're in now. Strange, strange world. And like I said, we're going to start hearing more and more cases of things like this happening. I mean, we have people out there who are running around in dog outfits. There's that Japanese dude who spent 20 grand to look like one of them Lassie dogs. Literally spent 20 grand, and he goes around like it's bizarre. It's straight up bizarre. If you ever get a chance to look up the video, it is so bizarre. Even the dogs, the real dogs, are all like, WTF, what is going on here? So we're gonna get more and more cases of people doing this stuff. This is all part of that transhumanistic agenda of disassociating people with their humanity, and in exchange for mental subjugation within a community. It's unfortunate, and like I said, we're going to continue to see more and more stories like this, more and more events of these kind of things taking place. And yeah, it's funny, we can make jokes about it. It is funny, it's ridiculous, it's asinine, but it is a clear side effect of a larger issue that is going on. And I truly hope that we are able to get out of this death loop of mental just mental collapsation of people. Like we need to get through it. We need to break this cycle, and I don't know what's it gonna take to break this cycle. It's just so sad. And it's, it is funny, but it is sad at the same time, that we got people out here living like that and behaving like this. And and at the same time, it is also crazy that you have like TLC who's making money, through ad revenue, on their shows like this, exposing and exploiting people like this. But at the same time, I don't, it's weird. It's kind of similar to that. What was it on VH1, True Life, where they would like document people's lives, and sometimes they'd have a little bit of a bizarre life, things like that. I think they had one where a woman who like was obsessed with like death and funerals. It was weird, just things like that. But it's just like I said, back in the day, those kind of things were few and far between. And we'd all be like, okay, that's kind of crazy, we acknowledge it and we kind of move on, and you wouldn't hear about it, something like that happening for if it only was on TLC and it was just bizarre stuff. But now TLC, they wouldn't have enough, they'd be overwhelmed with the amount of characters they'd be documenting, and characters who are clearly showing some severe mental problems and mental breakdowns. And this whole story took place a while ago, but like, thing about it now is like he's building literally a harem of vehicles that he's having sexual intercourse with. Like, this is a real thing, and he's not the only one. And the fact that this is a objectphilia is a real thing, and I'm under the impression that these kind of philias, these weird things, are going to be more and more prevalent. And people are going to be trying to celebrate their severe mental health addiction and try to normalize it. We already see that going on. But I think we're going to start seeing a more and more increase of the more bizarre types of pronouns and ways of identifying and trying to live your life. It's, I believe in people expressing their freedom of their freedom of expression, their freedom of individuality, but it comes a point where you begin infringing on other people's freedom of expression and individuality, and you start causing irreparable damage to your own mental health as well as those around you and a community at whole. And that's where my issues are coming from, and some of the dangerous agendas and infiltrators that have been radicalizing this type of mentality and behavior. And that's coming from a very reasonable person. And my words are reasonable, and the tone is reasonable and genuine. There is no malice or ridicule, or I shouldn't say ridicule, but meanness in my words. Like I said, yes, this is a funny situation, but we also have to acknowledge that this is a dangerous rhetoric that's being acted upon by many people, and we need to rail this in. It's getting a little out of hand, way too out of hand, and out of pocket. A lot of this stuff is completely out of pocket. It needs to be addressed. And before we wrap this up, I'll for the car lovers out there, if there's any, we'll finish this by getting a quick Nathaniel fix. And check out this puppy. This 2028 Lamborghini Lanzado. Look at that. I can't imagine what Chase would do if he got his hands on this baby. And why is this not illegal? It's illegal to, like, well, in some states it's okay to be getting it on with animals, but like, I don't know. Anyways, cool looking car. For any of the car aficionados out there and any Nathaniel adjacent lovers of vehicles, hope you get your you get your rocks off on that Lamborghini. But yeah, this was wild. Very wild story. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you hit that like button. I really appreciate everyone who is stuck in for this wild little story. Please leave some comments with your thoughts below and your dream car as well. Personally, my dream car is a El Camino. That's about it for me. I potentially may be back tonight. I apologize that I didn't get to the Hindu text and quantum physics because I had an incident that I had to deal with last night that wasted substantial amounts of my time and ended up to me going to bed late. So I decided to keep it light today and address this interesting story rather than spend a long, deep dive that I was not mentally ready for. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to stream twice a day for the following couple weeks. Or, early afternoon, mid afternoon, and occasionally late at night, depending on what I'm going to be discussing. Upcoming topics, like I said, the Hindu text, quantum physics. We also got Edgar Casey and Giants and Atlantis. I'm trying to think. What else do I got lined up? I did hear an interesting alien baby story. I saved it. It was on Instagram. I'm going to look it up. That might be another thing I'm going to talk about. Yeah, that's pretty much. I got some other things. I can't think of them off the top of my head at the moment. But yeah, you keep the lookout for those things. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. But please, I really appreciate it. If you made it this far, please make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe and ring that notification bell. And feel free to share out this stream or the channel. Help me grow, and let's get some other like-minded individuals who are up for some entertaining topics and conversations. So until next time, stay positive, stay focused, stay